Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from the outskirts of it's the Gaming Saloon for August 24th, 2025, with your host, Mr. Maker2448, and wrap it up, Salon.
Hi.
We have one show, one specific direct, and a smattering of news this week. Specifically from this last week, because I didn't see anything from the week before to grab.
Sounds about right.
I can't wait to get to the not Xbox Ally and for you to see the prices on them, because I don't know if you've seen the prices yet.
I haven't, but
But yeah, before we get into any of that, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple of weeks?
honestly, not a whole lot. More I've been watching stuff more so than anything.
Anything interesting?
I've kind of been stuck on watching like Portal 2 mods and stuff like that. Which is very possible that it'll end up making me decide to want to do something. So
Portal 2 is in our future in some way.
more than likely.
I finished up doing retro achievement stuff for Lego Indie.
How'd that wind up?
It went fine. I technically am missing one achievement, but I don't want to go through the manual process to get that achievement unlocked. Because I did the first level of Crusade with a couple of red bricks on, and doing replay story will not proc the achievement. Nor will doing free play with the red bricks off, so I have to manually do that, and I'm not going to bother with that.
Fair.
But yeah, that's probably going to be the last Lego game I feel like diving into for the moment. Even though, like, the Lego Batman trilogy is on sale on Steam for like $5 right now.
A fear of the Lord.
Like, that tempted me because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind playing like the second one. But I don't know. Open world Lego games make me hesitant, and that might just be that Skywalker Saga burns me on the idea of open world Lego games. I don't know. Have you tried any of the newer Lego games?
Nope, I have not.
Fair. Let's see. So I did bite the bullet and pay the $10 fee for the extra puzzles and unlimited puzzles on Pokemon Friends.
And
You get more puzzles, and some of those extra puzzles are neat, and having the option to do unlimited puzzles is nice. The only thing it really does is like speeds up the process of like giving out the plushies to the folks in town, because otherwise you're still doing 3 puzzles at a time. I'm growing fond of the game. I kind of like just doing the 3 puzzles now and then just kind of like not doing more until like the next day. And if I want to do more, I can like do maybe like 2 more sets and then just put it down for the day. Especially because the puzzles are like, they're simple, but they can get difficult once you get to the higher levels of it. Like basically your ice sliding puzzle one gets me right now because I'm just like, oh god, I can't figure out the path. Or the rotating train tracks to get Sableye to like the end that I have trouble with at the moment, but I'm at like level 7 of those basically. I think of 10 maybe. I don't know what the highest level and all that is. Besides that's not much else. So I guess anything else before we get into news?
Nah.
All right then. Tuesday this past week was the start of Gamescom, and everybody decided to have their game stuff that day. So in the morning, Super Robot Wars developers did their stream where they announced their DLC, and yeah, you can see from the first picture where this is going.
Yep.
So
it's time to count up your sins.
Yep. So DLC 1, dubbed Request from Darkness, will be bringing in a unit from Galaxy Cyclone Breaker, 1 unit from the Big O, which is specifically called the Big O, because I know that because I'm decently familiar with the Big O. It actually aired in the States as a part of Toonami back in the day. It's the only reason I know anything about it. And then finally, we get 3 units from Futo PI, the Portrait of Commander Skull. It will be double Axel and Skull. Additionally, before this, I will pull up the Steam listing, because there's more than, well, this is what the DLC will be centered around, but there's more to the DLC than just these 3 shows. So you'll get, like I said, those 5 playable units. You'll get 16 area missions, which is 16 maps, basically. Not like unique maps, but 16 levels, basically. And then 2 assist crew members, which are basically your support units. They're not on the field, but they are characters from the related shows. So I think I saw something that said Tokame would be the support unit from Futo PI, and I believe the maid character from Big O will probably be the other support unit. I don't know if it would be Tokame in Akiko, because I haven't seen anything with this that has 2 people in one, like they have for other games. And then the second DLC will be Kotetsu Jeg, Gitarobo the Jet Black Drifters, and then Brave of the Legend Dangun. No dates specifically for the DLC just yet, but they will be out after the game releases this Thursday on PS5, Switch, and PC. And a demo is out now, which if you're playing on PlayStation 5 and Switch for that demo, your progress carries over because it's all of Chapter 1. So, how do you feel?
It has kind of got me interested. I'm just gonna put that one out there.
Fair. I was stun locked when this happened because I was not expecting this. I know Toku has been a push from the Super Robot Wars devs, specifically the people that have been in charge of the Cross and Mega Mobile game, into stuff like 30 and now Y. But I never expected them to actually bite the bullet and go, here's a Kamen Rider in one of the mainline games. I honestly, if you ask me between Rider and Sentai and like any of the others that wasn't like basically Gridman, who would get in first, I would honestly say a Super Sentai would get into Super Robot Wars first, because that just would make more sense.
I don't know though, because now that I'm kind of looking at this a little bit more, wasn't it Bandai Namco that did Memory of Heroes?
Yes, but that's because Bandai Namco in general has done like all of the Rider games in general.
Meaning it honestly would be more likely that they would get something Rider related, and probably at that point either either double or O's. I'm not throwing 0-1 into that because, let's be honest, Memory of Heroes 0-1 was shoehorned in.
Yeah. Also, Bandai Namco's done all of the. Actually, there are existing Sentai games. They're not anything to write home about, and all of your Ultraman related stuff. Basically, Bandai Namco has done all of the Toku video games, 90% of them. Either they've done them development-wise or they've done them publishing-wise. I'm guessing the reason Futopia is here is because, from my understanding, with Super Robot Wars 30, they wanted to get Ultraman Z in the DLC. They couldn't figure out likeness rights issues and how to translate live-action people into not live-action for the game. So Tsuburaya offer.
That makes sense on this end of it then.
Yeah, so Tsuburaya offered the Netflix Ultraman anime, which is basically the Ultramans as Iron Man armors, as a replacement, and that is how that got into Super Robot Wars 30. So I assume that's the same situation here of, why is it specifically Futopia? Well, that's an anime. We don't have to worry about likeness rights on that one. Because in Cross Omega, when they brought in G-Ranger and Gokaiger, which are both Sentai shows, they never demorphed. So they were always in suit. When they pulled in Garo, they never showed Koga's face. It was always in shadow. And I think the same thing with Gavon when they pulled him in for Cross Omega. So they have, if they have to bring in a live action show, they have to basically work their way around the likeness rights, which is probably why Futopia is here, but it still is shocking, in my opinion.
Looking at it from that aspect, there again, not as shocking.
Yeah.
Because I have to think that kind of, if they decided to say, okay, we're not going to touch live action, then that narrows the writer pool down a lot.
Yeah, but you're basically at, well, you have Futopia, you might have some Deno chibi shorts, and then you have like SD writers from way back in the day. And they've pulled manga before, so they have Kamen Rider spirits. But also, that's all Showa writers, basically. Not even all Showa writers. That's just the first 10 Showa writers.
So that really kind of limits a whole lot.
Yeah.
And does it seem like it's just me, or does it really seem like Toei is more willing to lend double to their external media offshoots more so than anything else?
Probably. It's like, it's a popular enough show, but also it's not that complicated of a show compared to others, so it's easy enough to adapt, because it's like, how many writers are in here? 2, basically.
It's one of those, well, obviously, since, Skull keeps being in everything double related 3.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's like, I almost have to wonder if it's the simplicity that's drawing them to doing that, or if there's more metrics than just what we can see, and maybe Double's like one of the only ones to rival Ichigo in terms of popularity.
I feel like we've had popularity polls, but I just don't remember results for them. I know sales-wise, like, Double is up there, but it is not like the highest selling franchise. It's the highest selling series. Well, not by a long shot.
It can't be, because as you literally just said, there's 2 writers.
Mm-hmm.
There is, what, a total of 4 belts? Counting the Sonozaki belts, because I'm sure they made them into toys.
Actually, no, they've never made that into a belt.
Really?
They never made that into a toy.
That?
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah, nope. They made their memories, but they never made the belt that you put them in.
I figured that would have been a slam dunk.
At that time, they weren't as hard on doing merchandise, believe it or not.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I would have figured that would have been a slam dunk kind of concept. Even in a re-release concept.
If I remember right, like Poseidon's driver from Mega Max was only just done within the last like 3 years. Just Poseidon, mind you. We still don't have an Aqua driver.
So then in that case, there's only 3 drivers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's harder to compare sales numbers in terms of that.
And I'm pretty sure O's. I know definitively O's actually outsold double.
That would be a more fair comparison.
Uh-huh. It's one of those times where I'm like, I wish I had that handy, but I'm like, yeah, no. I think the last sales chart I saw recently was for Sentai.
Well, you know what? I take that back. That might not be fully as comparable. Because it would depend on how they handled the medals.
If I remember right, they sold them in 3-packs.
Which then gives more opportunities to sell stuff for O's than double.
Yeah. Yeah, they sold them in 3-packs, and I think like your Gashapon Candy Toy stuff was basically Legend Rider medals.
Yeah, so that actually probably would have gave us more opportunities to sell. Mm-hmm. Double's in that weird spot of you can't really go off of toy sales because there's not a whole lot of toys to sell.
I am pretty sure if you look at every unique memory that has been sold at this point, more Dopant memories have been sold than anything.
Which would make sense.
Because they have done sets that are like, here is basically every Dopant memory that ever appeared on screen, regardless if it was ever used or not. Like, we're talking Dopant memories that were in the fucking briefcases and no one picked. Is how deep they went on Gaia memory selling. If Toei smells a series that will do stupid well sales-wise, they will find the means to make money.
That's why I'm kind of wondering if this is more of a popularity thing. With double.
I know... Oh... Let's see if I have to find it. Because one person I know that's like adjacent to the Super Robot Wars Discord did a survey for what people wanted to see in a new Super Robot Wars game, and this was last year, I believe. It was like last year or the year before. And send this to you real quick because luckily I found it. Photopia made it high on the list as like a not Super Robot series or a mecha adjacent series, as they say.
Oh god, I barely can.
Yeah, you have to like open it up because it's a fairly extensive survey of just like, here's basically every fucking super like robot mecha anime in existence, and then here's a whole bunch of adjacent stuff and video game ones that are adjacent. Like, it is a deep ass survey because I have done that survey. But like everything you see highlighted in red on that survey has made it into this game. And like Futo Tante was in the top 10 for mecha adjacent anime. Along with just Kamen Rider in general, which should, I guess, put it in perspective. Because this survey has been accurate as far as my understanding. And this is a fan-driven survey.
Or at least it's supposedly a fan-driven survey.
It is ran by one person who is not affiliated with Bandai Namco, as far as I know, and it is voted on by just people who see his tweet. But yeah, the top 10, like number 1 is Symphogear, which people have been desperately wanting forever. Which that's actually on our list for TGSR stuff, maybe. But then 2 through 10, to give an idea, is Ace Combat. You know, that fighter jet video game series. Bubblegum Crisis, Digimon, Futopia, Kamen Rider in general, Legend of Galactic Heroes, Metroid, Super Sentai. Specifically, any Super Sentai series that has not been in Super Robot Wars, i.e. not G-Ranger, not Gokaiger, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! So that should give you an idea of, like, what that top 10 looks like.
What's bad is out of that top 10, there's one that I can almost guarantee would never happen.
Metroid?
Yep.
I am sure Metroid will never happen because Nintendo does not like having their stuff on not their platforms. So, like, it would have to be a Super Robot Wars game exclusive to Nintendo for them to even remotely consider that.
Now, replace that with Star Fox and they might consider
it. Yeah, they'll throw Star Fox at whatever.
Because they don't know what to do with Star Fox.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of anything else to point out, like video game wise. Well, they have an entire category for video game stuff. As Mega Man X made it up there in the top 10.
I could see that, though.
Daemon X Machina is in the top 20. I don't know how much Nintendo has pull on Daemon X Machina, because it seems like it's always at their directs recently. Metal Gear is there. Xenoblade is all over this list. Well, Xeno anything is all over this list. But yeah, I guess the only other thing I will say is if you're gonna hop into this for the double stuff, be forewarned. They're not going to adapt Futopia directly. They're going to massage Futopia into what already exists for Super Robot Wars Y, specifically into the small campaign they're doing with the 3 shows of its DLC before they get put into the main game, basically. So I assume you have to play through the campaign to get the 3 of them in the DLC, or to get the 3 of them in the main game.
I would assume so.
Or at least you have to play like the initial couple missions. But they are gonna massage this in here because they even like pointed out, it's like, yeah, look at this cool team up of Double and Skull. Because yeah, this is gonna be the first time ever that's gonna happen. Because they're not gonna kill off Skull and then you never get to play as him again.
Which would be funny if they could find a way to do that, just to, you know, keep that going.
That is what this franchise is known for. If like if a character dies in a show, they find a way to get around it to keep that character alive. They will even make you earn that character's like life if possible.
I just think it would be immensely funny on both fronts of it to be like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, no.
You get Skull for 2 missions, now he's dead. And they will have interactions with like the main game stuff, meaning you're gonna hear Shotaro say something about having to fight Godzilla. Because reminder, Godzilla's in this game. It's the weird, fucked up math nonsense one, but it's still Godzilla. Also, technically, you get riders interacting with ultras again. It's ultra adjacent, but still. I guess any other thoughts?
No.
All right, then. Kirby Air Riders had a 45-minute direct as Sakurai detailed all the things about Air Riders. I love that at the start of this direct, Sakurai was like, "Oh yeah, the Nintendo higher-ups approached me to do the Kirby Air Ride game. I looked at them and went, but we have a racing game. Why would you want this?"
Yeah, I love the fact that he fully acknowledges the fact of, but Mario Kart.
But then proceeded to not say why outside of just saying and talking about the game. And I'm like, you cut a deal to get something you wanted for doing this, didn't you, Sakurai?
Probably.
Also, this is the game he was referencing he was working on during his tutorial stuff. So
and also it put to rest all the rumors about potential Smash game because, you know, Bandai Namco's attached to it.
Yeah. Which I know I saw a rumor after the fact that like someone went, "Oh, the reason that they're doing this is to get Sakurai on for another Smash Brothers," basically. I'm like,
I don't think so.
Sure.
I think this came from Nintendo higher-ups. I think if anything, Sakurai's made a counter pitch to be like, okay, fine, I'll do this, but then you're also letting me do this.
Surprise! This is how we get Kid Icarus Uprising on like the Switch 2. Or like a new Kid Icarus game.
Probably a new Kid Icarus game.
Yeah. But we have more playable characters than the previous one. Alongside Kirby, Meta Knight, and DDD, we have Chief Kowalski, Bandana Waddle Dee, Magalore, Gooey, Knuckle Joe, Waddle Dee, amongst others. It's a 2-button game. You have your gas button and you have a boost button.
Unfortunately, they added a second button.
Yep. You got a Y
Just
button
because
though.
of the meme.
Got a Y button for abilities. Because every character basically has a special ability of some kind. If it's not obvious, especially during the direct, the Smash Brothers team is the one working on this. Like, not only by looking at the UI and them, but also they're like introducing characters as exactly like how they introduce characters in Smash Brothers. I'm like, this is just Sakurai's team being like, oh yeah, we don't have to make a Smash Brothers. We just get to make a Kerbal game. Let's go.
I also feel like this was probably done intentionally this way, just to screw with people.
Yeah.
Because he's always kind of struck me as that type to just like doing stuff just to get people's reaction. And I have a feeling that if any of this had leaked before this direct, people would have made wild expectations that this was a Smash game.
Yeah. Yeah, Sakurai absolutely is just like, I'm just here to make video games. I don't want to go up higher. He's incredibly one of those people like, I don't want to be up higher in Nintendo. I just want to make video games. Leave me alone. Let me make Kerbal until I decide to retire. Let's see. All the riders have copy abilities, not just Kirby, so everyone can use the fancy power-ups. 16 players city trial, which is up from I think like 8 or something from the last game.
4.
4. Okay, I didn't remember. Oh, we have 8 player via local wireless.
Yeah.
That's probably where I pulled the number. But 16 online. We have another vocal track as the main theme, which we keep getting those for Nintendo games. So somebody at Nintendo really likes having vocal tracks for once.
And the main theme's already on Nintendo Music.
Of course it is.
Which
I think that technically like
I wish that you could actually use that on a computer.
yeah. I think they put it up like the day before on accident.
Probably.
They said they have more characters to reveal and more stuff to talk about. If you're at PAX West, you'll be able to play the game in person. Because it was not at Gamescom, I believe. I don't think it was at Gamescom. I
I
know.
don't think it is.
I believe like Prime 4 was at Gamescom, but it was the same demo that we've had before. And some other things were at Gamescom, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, that was the Kerbal Direct. How do you feel about Kirby?
Like I said, ask me again after we get through Air Rider on Tails.
Yeah.
Because I've never played the first one, so another kart game's not really just that jump out for me right now.
Especially when we have the other kart game that was released like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. I know people love City Trial, so that might be the draw for it, but
I feel like that's the reason people are going to play this. It's like, oh, there's other things besides City Trial? Nah, I'm just playing this for City Trial. All I know of the game is what Ty streamed of it like a long time ago.
all I know
Otherwise,
is what
I'm
I've
just-
seen from speedruns.
Yeah. This seems neat. We'll see. You ready to move on to the third thing from that day? Because by the way, that Kirby Direct was like directly after the Super Robot Wars stream. I was still in stun lock when that Kerbal stream was happening, so I was like half paying attention.
And shoutouts to Nintendo did exactly what I kind of figured they would, just not to the degree that I was expecting them to go either, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as I saw the director's I was like, God, fuck, damn it. Stop it.
Almost called it. Just wasn't expecting it to be a Kirby one.
Yep. Opening night live. This article kind of puts them in reverse order because they ended the show with Black Myth Jun Kui from the Black Myth Wukong devs. Are you excited for another Souls game?
No.
Accurate. Moving on. Resident Evil Requiem did a story trailer focused on Grace Ashcroft. It feels like the last thing anyone wanted to see at this showcase for this game, if I'm being honest.
Probably.
Because, like, the rumors have been forever that Leon's in the game. Where's Leon? Where's the gameplay of this game? And it's like, here's basically a cutscene trailer that clearly is cutting out things for the trailer. Clearly there are skips, that you are skipping something. So, like, this doesn't really work. Ghost of Yotei had new stuff. Are you excited for that, for this one?
Mm-mm.
Fair. I'm skimming through it myself, and I'm just like, this looks like what you'd expect from this. So, World of Tanks Heat. This is apparently a new type of game. It's 10v10 using high-tech customizable tanks, combat abilities, and more. It is coming to all the various things soon.
Except for Switch 2.
Yep. Neat. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando showed gameplay. I forget this is a thing. This didn't really show a whole lot of gameplay, if I'm being honest, as I skimmed through this. Project Spectrum is a PvE psychological horror game. Neat. Everwind, Cult of the Lamb DLC, World of Warcraft expansion, Age of Empires 4. You can tell how invested in the show I am. Oh god, there's so much. I'm just skipping over so much stuff because I'm just like, not interested, not interested, not interested. Hey, Ninja Gaiden 4, got another story trailer, cool. I can't wait for people to complain about Ninja Gaiden 4 because it's clear that Ryu is not the main character of that game. They're trying to insert a new protagonist to replace him. I can't wait for it to go terribly. Because that never goes well. Outer Worlds 2 had a new trailer. Chronos the New Dawn had a new trailer, and a guy in cosplay showed up for like 5 seconds. Silent Hill F showed nothing new. Delta Force was a thing. Squid Game creator created things are going to be put in the Fortnite. You ready to play Squid Games in Fortnite? Fair. Unbeatable is something.
Looks
This
like
looks
a
neat,
rhythm
at
based or rhythm based one.
Probably. I don't really see any gameplay, so I have no idea. It looks neat, at least. It looks different from everything else on this fucking list. Time Takers and Darkest Files. The fuck was even this? Okay, I thought this was like the game from the from one of the devs for I can't even remember the name of it now. It's not even on here. I might have skipped over it. From that one studio that dissolved, basically, or it's splintered. Yeah, I'm skipping over a bunch of this. Hollow Knight had a trailer. We'll talk about Hollow Knight later, or Silksong later. Bubsy 4D. Are you excited for new Bubsy?
Nope.
But it looks like it's a speedrunner game with all the movement tech. I'm not kidding. They are really trying with the speedrunner crowd on this one, I feel like, and it's probably not going to do that well for them. More stuff. I think Call of Duty had like 40 minutes that I skipped because I was asleep. So I didn't catch that part. Probably for the best. Okay, let's talk Lego Batman. So we have a new Lego Batman game called Legacy of the Dark Knight. Now I have to explain this because you would think, oh, it's a Lego Batman game. It's not that complicated, right? No. I wish. So the gameplay is basically Arkham. They have basically wholesale took the Arkham gameplay and put it into a Lego game. So you got the bouncing off enemies combat, the combos, even the grappling and movement is Arkham. And it's an open world. And it's an open world bigger than Arkham Knight's open world. But also, this is going to be a mix mash of stuff from the Batman movies, stuff from Batman comics, stuff from, I guess, Batman TV shows in order to create a story. Because there are scenes from several different Batman movies in Batman comic stuff in the demo and trailer for this game. I don't know what the hell this Lego game is, and it scares me. How do you feel?
I mean, I don't know how to feel on it, so.
I'm just like, what is this weird mix mash of stuff to make a Lego? And they also are like implying, but it shouldn't be the case, that there's only 7 playable characters, which that's not how any Lego game has ever worked on this franchise, ever. But they emphasize 7 playable characters specifically for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. This comes out next year. Monster Hunter Wilds is getting a Final Fantasy 14 crossover. Onimusha had a new trailer. Fallout Season 2 had a trailer. Indiana Jones DLC had a trailer. World of Tanks 2.0. Daemon X Machina trailer. Sekiro Anime had a trailer that may or may not have been AI. Who knows? We'll find out when it actually releases. But yeah, that's opening night live. How do you feel?
Meh.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much for too long.
You mean it's not enough for too long?
I mean, that too. Also, horrendously expensive.
Uh-huh.
Because I forgot to grab this, but someone put out an article saying how much it costs to get into Gamescom. Would you care to guess for 30 seconds how much that is?
Probably Super Bowl level numbers.
It's 115 pounds.
Oh, well, that's not as stupid as I expected it to be then.
Mm-hmm. Well, 134 or 115,000 euro. My bad, not pounds, euro. That's $134,000, by the way, folks. It's 165 euros for 60, 215 for 90, and then 265 for 120 seconds spot.
Yeah, not as bad as I expected it.
Yeah. I did see one indie dev basically go, yeah, no, we're priced out of Gamescom. It's a Gamescom opening night live. We can't pay that. We don't have the budget for that. Like, that's our whole ass game budget right there. We can't do that. And I'm like, fair and accurate. But yeah, the opening night live was certainly a thing that was meh. Anything else?
No.
All right, Xbox properly announced the release date for their Ally, for their ROG Ally with an Xbox sticker on it. It is coming out October 16th. Would you care to guess the price without looking at the article?
More than the Steam Deck?
The cheaper version is $550. The more expensive version is $900.
Yep. Yep.
They were supposedly.
I'll just stick with the Switch 2.
Yeah. Bear in mind that they're supposedly supposed to make this perform better than it did before, because even though specs wise, I believe this says it's better than the Steam Deck, it does not actually perform better than the Steam Deck because it is running on Windows.
Gasp. You mean something with the same specs running on Windows is worse?
Better specs, mind you.
It couldn't be that, the Steam Deck's running off of a heavily modified Linux that doesn't need a lot of resources to run the operating system, so it can actually dedicate all that to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not going well. Granted, Microsoft's not in the console business anymore, so who cares?
I mean, obviously they still are. If they're willing to decide to force another company to use Windows instead of using any other operating system on the planet.
Yeah, well, granted, the ROG Ally exists already, and it runs on Windows and performs terribly.
I didn't think it did.
Every time I hear people talk about this, they say the ROG Ally already is talk like the ROG Ally does run on Windows 10. Yeah, oh, my bad. Windows 11. It is a Windows 11 machine. Although people have found a way to make it run SteamOS.
But the problem is you can't get the actual SteamOS.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is proprietary. Valve hasn't ever gave it out kind of concept. There are mock-ups that are very similar to it though.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually used one of them and it actually ran pretty good. That's why you gave me the option between this and the Steam Deck. I'd say, okay, Steam Deck.
Even for me, where I'm like, I don't have a desire for either of these. If you made me buy one of these, I'm like, I'm buying a fucking Steam Deck. I'm not dealing with Microsoft's stickered ROG Ally. I say as someone who has an Asus computer. Even I'm like, nope. Any other thoughts?
No.
So Silksong had a little trailer on Thursday that basically was like, here's our release trailer. It comes out September 4th. And alongside that, an article from Jason Schreier came out with interviews with 2/3 of the development team, i.e. the two founders of the company. Because apparently Team Cherry is 3 people. Literally 3 people and some friends and some contractors. That's it. On why it took them 7 some odd years to make the game. Would you care to guess why?
Why?
They kept wanting to put stuff in the game, and so they did, and then oops, it's 7 years. We should probably get the game out the door eventually. Literally, it was them going like, oh, we're having fun making the game. Oh, right, we should release this at some point. Oops.
we should probably make money.
I mean, it's 3 people. One of them is like has like 3 kids, and the other one is like just lives in like a really small apartment. They've been coasting on Hollow Knight's money for like years. On all that money Hollow Knight made, they've just been coasting on it. It was just like, oh yeah, we've just been chipping away at the game. No big problems, no big crunch or anything. We've just been working on it. We were like, oh, this is a cool boss. Let's put it in. So yeah, the Silk Song is coming out literally in 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks. It comes out next week. Like no jokes, no ha-has, no pedantry. No, it comes out next Thursday. They also said that they are not sending out review copies, mostly because they want to make sure it gets into backers' hands first. So people who back the game, however long ago that was, will be the first ones that get the whole of the game. Which normally is bad, but I feel like in this situation is going to be the exception to that rule.
Probably.
I hope. I hope this game isn't disastrous, because like, oh boy, if this game is disastrous, we're not going to hear the end of it for like years. But yeah, any other thoughts?
No.
All right. So how do you feel about the current leadership at Bungie?
And the fact that it's changing.
Yeah, so Pete Parsons is gone. In his place, Justin Truman will be stepping in as CEO. Unfortunately, this is the guy that says we cannot oversell our games. We should undersell our games, if I recall. If one tweet I saw is correct. So, does it feel like Bungie is like cursed? Much like how Halo Studios is cursed.
No, I think the problem is the root of the problem is Microsoft.
Yeah. Because Marty O'Donnell, the person who did music for Halo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just remember, like, he did a video, did an interview with, I forget who it was. It's somebody on YouTube. One of your YouTube folks. He did an interview, and like one of his things was basically, yeah, Microsoft got its hooks into Bungie in terms of certain individuals, and they never left. And so all that mentality from Microsoft has never left that company.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is also the interview where Marty went, yeah, when I sued the company, when I got let go of, I sued for stock stuff. Make sure I got paid.
Well, it also didn't help anything that, you know, Microsoft essentially took half of Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean game library wise, I mean literally took half of the people from there.
Yeah, made their own studio, and they haven't made a good Halo game. They haven't made a good anything in their entire existence.
They haven't made a good complete Halo game.
Yeah, if we somehow piece together 4, 5, and Infinite, we might have a amazing Halo game somewhere in that blender.
4 story, 5's return to what the multiplayer should have been in 4. And I guess you could say the open world for Infinite.
I feel like the hype around Infinite's multiplayer, at least, because it felt like people were on board for Infinite's multiplayer when it first came out, and then everything went downhill after the fact.
It's because when they already alienated everyone off of 4's multiplayer, that kind of was hard to figure out where to come back in.
Yeah, because I think after that point it was like, here's all that microtransaction bullshit and all this like battle pass stuff that no one really wanted, and you kind of priced everybody out, and everyone wiped their hands of it. Like, well, I had fun for like 2 weeks with friends. I'm never playing this again.
Mm-hmm.
It still astounds me that they had the incredibly stupid decision of like, oh yeah, for the cosmetic stuff, we're gonna lock it to a specific undersuit. Whoever's idea for Infinite, or whoever's idea for Infinite was, should have been escorted out the door immediately, because that was the worst fucking decision possible. Because they centered all the cosmetic stuff around that, and they have never been able to fix it. Because even on a coding level, it's locked to that, so they can't even like just turn it off and be done. But yeah, Bungie continues to be Bungie. One last small one. How would you like a new Mega Evolution?
I feel like that line has more than one meaning. And I kind of love that. Mega Victory Bell raises a stink.
He's a big old bad guy. Look at him. I'm kind of on board with this big dumb thing. Like, the Dragonite one was fine. I kind of like this. I'm kind of on board with it. I don't know why. I love this big dumb bag Blorbo who debuted in this little like horror directed skit they did before they showed the gameplay trailer. I don't know. How do you feel?
I don't know. I kind of gotta get in a mindset of Pokemon before I can actually kind of care.
Yeah, apparently the Mega Megania has leaked out. Granted, I say all this not like all the Mega Evolutions that are showing up in this game haven't already leaked out months ago because of the Terra leaks. Because, spoilers, by the way, folks, we know every Mega Evolution that's in this game, technically. Because that's already leaked out. Health descriptions of them have existed, and they're, because of these two, they're basically dead on. So, that is cursed knowledge that I vaguely have, so I will not pass that forward. But yeah, I have hopes for ZA because I really liked Arceus, and I hope this does good. But I still have my hesitations. It feels like they maybe didn't realize what people liked about Arceus, and maybe are not following up on all that. I don't know. Something about this game where I'm like, I have hopes, but I feel like those hopes are in vain.
I mean, I know why. I mean, it's because of 2 games.
Mhm.
Scarlet and Violet. Good games, except for they completely blew it and went too big, knowing that the Switch couldn't handle it.
Yeah. And we have basically a cross-gen Pokemon game that I feel like is smaller than Scarlet and Violet, at least in terms of size, since it is just a city. I feel like it'll be bigger than like that main town that's in Scarlet and Violet, but it's not like as big as the entire fucking Scarlet and Violet map.
Presumably.
Yeah. But still, I'm just like, if this game's not flowing like Arceus did, if it's not like as fun to move around and do stuff as Arceus, then like feels like it missed everything that game was doing that was fun and refreshing as a Pokemon game. I don't know. I guess any other thoughts?
Nah.
All right then, releases. Oh wow, I missed one right at the top. How did I miss that one? Yeah. I guess since I missed it, on August 25th, Practical Hearts for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch. On the 26th, Helldivers 2 for Series X. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate Deluxe Edition for Xbox One, Series X, and PlayStation 5. Well, I see why I missed that one.
Oh, yeah.
I missed it because it was like, Switch
but
2
it
edition.
would be two different games, though, technically, so.
Well, on the 27th, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar for Switch and Switch 2. Let's see, on the 28th, 40 sports games in one on Switch. Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition plus Starcross World for Switch 2. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater for Series X and PlayStation 5. I have heard terrible things about that game. Like, that game performs like shit. Which is not good. Super Robot Wars Y for PlayStation 5 and Switch. Star Trek Resurgence for Switch. We Are Busy Digging a Hole for Switch. On the 29th, Goosebumps Terror and Little Creek for Series X, PlayStation 5 and Switch. Hello Kitty Island Adventure for PlayStation 5 and Switch. Neo Geo Arcade 1 for the Evercade. Shinobi Arch of Vengeance for Series 1 or Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. That's the new Shinobi side-scrolling game. On the 31st, is this seat taken for Android and iOS? Oh, wait, I skipped one that I know I want to call out. But I lost where it's at. Oh, there it is. On the 28th, Destiny Rising for Android and iOS. Does it feel like no one's talking about that this thing's coming out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you not remember that Destiny is getting a mobile version that's different but the same? That has a gacha?
We're not talking about that.
I honestly did not know it was coming out until I saw the releases, and I'm like, oh, that game is dead within 6 months. Ain't nobody playing that. But back to the 31st. Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship for the board and card. And Yakuza Kiwami for Xbox One. And lastly, not lastly, I bet. Let's go to the 4th with Silk Song for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and Switch 2. Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, The Order of Giants DLC for Series X and PlayStation 5. NFL Retro Bowl 26 for iOS. Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition for Switch 2. That's basically it. Unless there's something on the 5th. Because I keep missing that there's more pages. On the 5th, Daemon X Machina, Titanic Sonic, or Scion for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots for PS5 and Switch. Is that it? That's finally it. That's a nice little cross section of releases. If you want to see more, they're in the notes below if you're on the YouTube. But that will do it. Anything else?
Nah.
All right, then. Tomorrow, as a little bit of catch up, we'll be doing Outland for platformers. It probably won't do a pre-show, so it'll just be Outland. Thursday, I'm doing more CAD, so we chip away at those. Friday is Mario Party, we decided?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be doing the Martin Party 4, which that's actually one of the few games I still own. Surprisingly enough. Because I looked at the ones that are on my shelf, and that was one of them. Saturday, I have to look at the list. What we're doing for platformers after Outland.
West.
That was the backup if Outland decided to be uncooperative.
But I think that was going to be the next. I think it was just going to be the backup. That way we'd have another week to.
Yes.
Because I don't think I actually set anything. Yeah. I didn't set anything for that one because I was waiting to see which way we could get on this. So.
Yeah. So Celeste will be next. And then next week will be us continuing our run through a Grime. And then in 2 weeks will be TGS once more. You'll hear me bang on about Super Robot Wars forever, I guess. Because I'll have played probably a bunch of it by then. I will incredibly have a 2 hours moment with that. But yeah, that will do it. So if you like what you see, and drop a follow, really appreciate it. If you want to drop us subs or bits, we'll try to get them into the hands of a charity eventually. Hopefully, as long as Twitch cooperates with us. Exclamation point YouTube and chat gets the YouTube archive for this and all of our other streams. Right now, Hibiki is going out, so you get to hear me be very upset about Hibiki by the end. Like on Tuesday. It's like Tuesday or Wednesday will be the last of the Hibiki. And oh boy, you get to hear me rant about where we left off on that show. Yay. It'll be TGS's for 2022 going out after that. I have to sit down and schedule it probably tomorrow. So I get the fun time of doing a whole lot of different tags for all the TGS's for a year. But that'll be the YouTube for the next like week or so. Exclamation point social and chat gives you the handles for all our social media, so you know we go live. Exclamation point Discord and chat gives us a like, drop by, say hi. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.